You could get all the answers, every single answer you could possibly want from AI. But when I tell you I've been recording podcasts for 15 years and I've done it in every single situation, AI cannot compete with me in that field. And I had to make sure that I'm separating myself. Yo, what's happening? What up, though? Show me CL Palmer, aka CZ Pod Gang. I'm gonna welcome everyone back to the Podtext Network podcast. And today we're gonna talk about AI. We're gonna talk about AI as far as what it really means to use AI for what it's capable for, but also why AI is kind of overrated right now. I have some hot takes, and here to help me break down these takes is none other than the homie Walter Gaynor II. What's happening with you, Walter?
And what's going on, y'all? Man, this I feel like I'm ready to do a deep dive and just fully replace myself by AI. I'm trying to find these AI agents to do everything for me. Waiting for AI to be able to cook and clean for me too, but I'll be patient on that. But nah, let's get into it.
Look, man, you already kind of going where I'm talking about. It's AI does a lot, but it don't do shit at the same time. We're gonna keep it real. And I definitely know that you being someone who has experimented with a lot of different AI tools, you are one of the perfect people to talk to. I know you actually just came off on an interview from some you said like a new image
Yeah.
generator that's
hmm
focused in on black and brown people, which is another thing why AI is definitely overrated because it's very much so struggling with pigmentation. But yeah, man. But I guess like before we get into that, man, what's going on with you, man? What you got going? What's been cooking on that side?
Man, yeah, I've been getting deeper and deeper into this world of content, just fully continue to exist in this whole creator economy space. Just one for, work I'm doing at like Urban One, and then also all these like side quests I keep finding myself on. It's like it's amazing when you walk around with a camera. You don't even need to know how to use it for real. If you just know how to use it enough to take decent shots and stuff, people gonna come up to you and be like, "Hey, I need that too." So yes, it's been a really cool just adventure, and this is gonna be an interesting conversation. Might turn into like a debate a little bit because I'm of the mindset of like, "Yo, AI is amazing. There's a lot we can do with it." I do agree it's overrated in some cases, but like I'm diving deep into this whole AI world. I'm like, it's like sign me up for this, that, and this, and yeah, no, it's interesting. It's interesting. So like AI from like a production standpoint, from like a project management standpoint, I'm still learning about all the different things that the stuff could do, and trying to avoid all the snake oil salesmen that are out here popping up on this AI thing too, because it's crazy, y'all. You could get got real easily.
It's funny you said that because it's gotten to the point where my Instagram and Facebook ads are serving me ads about AI tools that help you make Instagram and Facebook ads.
That's funny.
It's
Oh, you seen like, yeah, I've seen some of them. Spotify's got this whole like, you don't got to add, no problem. We got you. AI audio ad. Yeah, no, I get those too.
it's so crazy because like I don't know, it's like is the snake eating its tail because the only reason I'm getting this recommended to me is because of AI. So I have an AI
Mm.
recommended ad for a tool that gives you an AI tool to create ads to go back into this AI to recommend to somebody else. I'm like, where does the loop stop?
Mm. Yeah,
You
don't
know?
stop.
And then, and this is kind of one of the things that I wanted to talk about today. And I guess we could just get right into it. But like AI is at every layer of your tech stack at this point. Um,
Yeah.
I just got the 16 Pro, the iPhone 16 Pro,
Nice.
and of course it has the Apple Intelligence with ChatGPT integrated inside of it.
Yeah.
Um, if you have a Mac and you've upgraded, then you also have access to the writing tools and the ChatGPT that's integrated into the Mac OS. So now I have ChatGPT integrated into the operating systems of both my computer and phone. Then I'm getting onto social media, and social media has an AI writing tool. Not to mention that I'm using Grammarly to make some of my text and do some of my AI correcting and tone adjustments. So I have 4 AI writing tools working on top of each other at any given time.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? All right, y'all. I said before that like AI, I'm loving it, but you know what? I forgot about the Apple's AI thing because like I'll open up my text message app and just on the previews section and I see like the AI preview. I'm like, what the hell are y'all talking about with this stuff? And I click on the message. I'm like, man. So you know what? Okay, overrated. Apple, you're doing way too much. I don't need AI in my text messages. I will say if AI could like help me stop with like the thumb fuck ups when I'm typing. I was looking at something I put together on a YouTube title the other day when I was like half asleep. First mistake, but I did not catch what I messed up, and it was a completely wrong title and stuff. So if it could catch some of that like a Grammarly would, then cool. But I don't need all this other stuff. You're right. You're right.
And that's what I actually have on my phone. I use the Grammarly keyboard.
Oh, you do
So
how you like it.
man, I love it. I I fuck up a whole lot less since I've had the Grammarly keyboard because it's
Shout out to everyone
checker.
who's fucking up on these text messages and posts, social media posts, all that stuff. But yeah, okay. So I need to
Right.
try that out.
Yeah, the hit rate is a lot higher when I'm using a Grammarly keyboard because it's going to catch me when I'm omitting words, whether that be uh by mistake or just because I'm talking to a black person. Um,
Mm.
but either way, it's going to remind me. It's like, oh yeah, you did leave like 3 words out while you was typing. It's like it's a good catch. Like that shit did
Thank
make
you.
a lot less sense when I was typing it out. And then I got these kids, so I'm like constantly distracted. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a fail safe for me. Uh, but yeah, man, that's something that I am dealing with, which is figuring out which AI tools not only work well, but which ones are really required for me to get my work done.
Mm. You know,
Because
oh, go ahead. My
no,
bad.
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, something that I didn't expect to really, really love is Adobe Premiere just added AI into their software, and now I could search for things. And what I did, I knew I had some issues with this one footage that I had, so I just searched the word black, and it popped up all the times where the screen went black or like in the footage the video was just like gone, and it would like help me to like quickly find the different places I need to correct and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
that's actually very helpful because like shoot, we were both on a call getting a demo of this tool that we thought was going to give us like, oh, this could like, we don't need to look through all the footage, we just search for what we want and then boom, we'll find it. That tool didn't do that, but with Adobe Premiere, their new AI intelligence, I could probably do that. You could probably search through the footage that you have added to the project. That is, so like let's say we had, like out full day of shoot. Oh shit, actually, even better example. I went to hmm. Well, okay, so like recently you were out filming with some people. doing a whole bunch of behind the scenes stuff for this like a very influential figure in the US, but especially in Atlanta. And there's like a ton of footage there. And you need to go through afterwards and be like, okay, when did this moment happen? You could probably search, like you add all the shit to Premiere, and then you search through, and they'll find like, oh, this timestamp, boom, that's what you're looking for. This is when the
Hmm.
flamethrower lady was doing her thing. So yeah,
Oh man, yeah, that was. I
that's an
mean,
Easter egg, y'all got to search
yeah,
through the
like,
internet to
bruh,
find.
when that clip dropped, you will know exactly what we're talking about. I hate to do that to these folks, but yeah, dog, like, nah, but that would be something you would want to look for really quickly. You would,
Right,
if you knew it would, if you knew that existed within your footage, you know it's going to be asked upon you to grab that, and
right.
trying to figure out which one that was in is can be a cumbersome thing, and then if you shooting continuously, which, depending on what you're doing, because I do know there are situations where you do have to shoot video continuously, and that creates super long gigantic files, and having
Hmm.
the ability to scan through like an hour worth of footage for something that's just amazing. So
Right?
I'm
Beautiful.
actually ready to check that out here in a minute. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that today. Maybe not right after we get off this call, but definitely not too far in the future, because I got quite a few video projects that I've pretty much putting off just because I got an ass load of footage. It's just
Yeah. It's intimidating, man. People don't think about that. Like when setting your rates and stuff, there's a rate for like going out to shoot, but then it's like all that time editing and going through that post production process is like, man, if you don't make it through that, that's like the final boss mode level. There's actually no boss mode level is sending the shit to the client and then making sure that they're like, yes, it's good, and not have 50 different revisions. That's final boss mode. But the yeah, nah, that post production, it'll get you every time.
hold on to that thread. I'm glad you said that boss level, and we're gonna wrap up today with a one to grow on. We're gonna have one to grow on for everybody,
Mm.
and we're gonna talk about controllers and having control in life. So I'm glad you brought that up. Um, I was actually just trying to see if my controller was down here. I just realized I gave it to my son. So I'm gonna have to go grab that so I can make the point like I wanted to. But
All right.
anyway, back to this AI joint. But yeah, like, I think having the right AI workflow is going to be one of the more important things going into the future. Um, because I do think it is worth having it, and I think just people having access to the tools will help mature uh the general public to the idea of using these tools in their everyday life. Um, but I think when you're trying to get something accomplished, you you got a couple different ways to go about it. It's like you could just try everything and see what works, which is that's me and you. We're gonna try
Mm.
everything at least once, um, and go that route. Or two, you find somebody's workflow that already exists, and you kind of just follow in their footsteps. But you
Sometimes I
gotta it's
wish I was more like that.
yeah, but it's there's not a lot of people that we trust with that type of shit, because we're the type of people who
Yeah.
put workflows together. So, if you're not that type to do all of the groundwork to figure it out, it's good to just find somebody who you really trust. That doesn't mean it has to necessarily be somebody but if you're a big Gary V fan, you find out what AI tools Gary V and them using and what they like to do. That would probably just makes life easy for you, because you
Yeah.
can get to where Gary V is at visually for the most part. You know, with all the caveats, but you can get the same effects. You can get the same captions. You can get the same type of edits and the same B roll. All of that different. Excuse me. All of those different aspects of content are widely available for everyone. You know, it's just finding somebody's thing that you like that's coming together and going there. Um, and
Mm.
I think going forward, stuff like that, me and you, and this is like free game out there for anybody else that's doing this type of thing. But putting out our AI workflow and like letting people try our methods out to do stuff, I think is going to be um very important, because it's not just getting the answers from the AI. You're getting human reviewed answers about AI. And that is going to give people a lot of trust, uh, because AI is great for information, for scraping things that have happened, but it doesn't have any future orientation towards how things need to be, or even it can't really speak to the human experience. You know, like when I think about when we're making podcasts, you know, we've done stuff remote, we've done stuff in person. AI hasn't done both of those things. AI has
Mm.
notes on what it's like to do a podcast in person and a podcast remote. It hasn't been
Right.
there when you had to work a switcher and, you know, get your camera angles, or what it's like when the roadcaster is giving you some
Man,
feedback and come to find out it's not the roadcaster, it's the LXR cable.
it wasn't with you shooting in the gym.
Exactly. So it's going to be very important that anybody who has real in the field knowledge about you doing things out there and then using this AI are out here helping people guide themselves through this stuff, because it's the only delineation that you're going to have from what the AI is giving you. Because you could get all the answers, every single answer you could possibly want from AI. But when I tell you I've been recording podcasts for 15 years and I've done it in every single situation, AI cannot compete with me in that field.
Mm.
And I had to make sure that I'm separating myself from that. So that's where I'm at when it comes to AI. It's like use it for what you can, ideation, you know, helping you spin content up, get to the point where you're just not thinking is hard. But when it comes to application, you're still going to need people.
Man, 15 years?
Bro, I've been doing this, man.
Man, I didn't even know that. I know you've been doing it for a minute. I didn't know the minute was an hour. Been doing it for an hour. Damn.
I mean, yeah, it's like 2025. Yeah, I mean, like I started like 2013 and probably was and just doing other recording stuff before then. So yeah, man.
Hmm. Damn. But you know what's interesting though? It's like so like I a lot of people are pushing and jumping into AI and developing these like AI integrations and stuff that is kind of unnecessary for a lot of cases like we were talking about before. But like I feel like things are going to look a lot differently 2 years from now, especially with AI agents coming into play. Like Zapier already has like allows you to use AI agents to do tasks for you. Now the tasks it could do for you, I don't know, not too impressive, but this is just the beginning. And I think there are more people. Like I was using AI ChatGPT specifically to help me figure out some like settings in Adobe Premiere. Specifically actually Adobe Media Encoder. So I was trying to because you would put me on to like the reducing file sizes because I'm shooting 4K footage, and reducing it so I could edit it and it doesn't like kill my storage and it still looks good. But I was still real nervous about how to do it. And it was like 4 a.m. or something like that. So I couldn't call you. So I was chatting with ChatGPT, taking screenshots of my setting, putting it in the chat, and be like, okay, why should I change this? Why should I change this? And I will say, granted, it was telling me to do stuff, and I was questioning it, and so it was like, it would literally respond back like, oh, you're right. Do this instead because of this, that, and this and that. So you're right. Like it still needs like human, like there's all these nuances and stuff that AI is like doesn't know about, but that's like currently right now. Like me having that conversation with AI is now learning kind of real time. So I think the more that we're using this shit, like it's gonna change. Like it's gonna catch on. So it's gonna start to have some knowledge that you've had over the 15 years. It still doesn't replace people, but it does it's gonna have a larger impact type of thing. But I think really like what I'm excited about is seeing people like who really do this shit, who are really out in the field doing it, leverage AI more because it'll start to advance more. But I think like we're gonna become like just like before, we're gonna be at boss level versus now. Like it's like all the things that we know with this technology is gonna make us stronger versus like someone who's just starting out, don't really know shit. I think it'll help them too, but it's like I think we'll start to see the differences between people, and then at that point, it's just a matter of like how it's being presented. Because I think now it's like at a point where someone could literally know, like I don't know anything about engineering, but with AI, I could create like a course on how to become an engineer.
Mm.
But an engineer could do that too. But we could both make the course look like like me and one other person who's an actual engineer could make an AI course about how to become an engineer, and it could be presented in the same way. I could figure out all the language and terms to use in it. I think there will be slight differences that people who are in the field will like be able to tell a little bit about like, okay, hold on, Walt's engineering course don't really sound all the way right compared to this one. Like this AI course is like this is where it is. But me knowing marketing, I might be able to speak to like more of like the pain points and understand the problems and stuff like that and just create a whole course about it. But that AI engineer, once like someone gets into the course, there's going to be a clear distinction of how helpful that course is. Like my course will probably be good enough for someone just starting out to understand the fundamentals. This person's course is going to give you all of that and other shit too. So I think that's going to be like the biggest thing. It's like the outside is going to look the same, but the inside is going to be completely different. So it'll be interesting.
And that lets me know that what I'm thinking is probably the way to go, which is you know, AI is only as good as the person that's using it. Um
Mm.
like I said, it will give you any answer that you may be looking for, but if you don't know how to ask the right questions, you will get a limited response. And like you said, in
Yeah.
marketing, y'all both could go in there and look for a marketing funnel to be spent out of the course. But you having more experience doing that, you're going to know how to fine tune that funnel a little bit more. So your responses from that side of things, which is very, very important as far as trying to move a course, um, and it just might help us sell a little bit more. But the engineer, being an engineer, knowing all the ins and outs, may have a better course just because they have all of that hands-on intel. Uh, and
Yeah.
they're going to have all of these different nuances that you're probably not even thinking about. And he may even take it from a lived experience where there may be some like prerequisites that need to go into
Mm.
becoming an engineer. Like when I talk about people getting into content production, one of the big things that you really want to have is a growth mindset and really be in a space to where you can tap into all of your creativity and not have any limits on what's possible. But if someone was supposed to just tell you, hey, this is how you start creating videos, of course you're going to get the, set the camera up, get your lights, get your microphone, yada, yada, that. But the thing you got to have before you start there is that open mind, that emptiness to be able to know, like, this is a canvas. It's like AI is not going to give you the mindset part of how to make a video or become a developer. That stuff has to get put into it and baked into it. So
Mm,
that's why I always tell people, it's like, yeah, this AI shit is great, but it's only as good as the person that's using it. Otherwise, the shit is overrated.
mm. Man, you sold me at the beginning of this convo. I was like, "See, what the hell are you talking about? Overrated? What?" But no, you're right. You're right. I think yeah, people are like, it's funny because like the energy is right. Like we should all be like really paying attention to this shit. But at the same time, it's like you know what it is. It's almost like in like religion they talk about like false. Was it like false gods or whatever?
Yeah.
What's the thing?
Or
Yeah, it's
idols.
almost like yeah, it's almost like that. Almost. It's like this stuff's very powerful, but it's not. Let's be real with it. Like let's respect it for what it is, but it's not God, right? It's the stuff that's being developed by humans, and that's why there's a bunch of biases in it. Like you mentioned before the interview I had, basically it's actually during the conversation I had with these two founders who came together to create something intentionally that could like represent um, black and brown people, and they're kind of tackling the bias that exists. Because like right now, if you go to a lot of these platforms and search like family having dinner or something like that, or something like a family from a house, or you go to any like company and they use these like stock images on their website, it's often a white family, and it's also sometimes a little lame too. It's kind of boring. But the biggest thing with like AI, taking AI out of it, it's always harder to find images of black people or brown people. It's always like white people doing this. It's like way more photos of them doing this. So there was this woman who started a her own image database that featured like flooded with tons of black and brown people, just images of real people. And so this like tech company partnered with this lady, Create Labs, that partnered with Tonal to create this AI image generator that basically is built off of this royalty free database of images that has representation and diversity in it. So it's like all these companies that need these assets, these stock images, currently they have to go seek out someone with photographs who has black people. That could be expensive, but with this tool, all they do is generate the images, and then boom, it's there. They have realistic images of black people where the nose isn't off to the side, or it's like not kind of like changing black features. So it's like black skin, but like still like white features or whatever. It's all accurate. And then like with that conversation is like, oh, okay, well, it's kind of putting these like black photographers like career at risk of getting replaced. But they were talking about like they kind of shared why that's not necessarily the case, and how it actually opens up more opportunities for photographers to get more out of their time and not have to like charge pennies for their work. So it was actually a really cool conversation, kind of changed my perspective on it. But that's like a case where AI is being useful. It's not just AI for AI, but it's like AI with like a intention behind it and a cause, and it's like actually creating a solution to a real problem. Because all of these other AI image generators, they work well to an extent. It's still a little overrated, but
Yeah.
it's like there's always bias based on who's developing the software. So, yeah,
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I will continue to say that AI is a little overrated, because we've all known about the problems that it's had from the facial recognition and looking at black people. So
yeah,
that that was the first, like, aha, it's like there's something going on
mm,
here. And then Like you said, now you go into the image generation and even generating text. When it comes to talking to black people, or even how I want to say this, or even using the correct vernacular um, when writing some copy, AI can't really keep up. And I'm gonna give you like a really funny example because the other day we was on a group chat about the shoot,
Mm.
and I typed in what time I need to pull up. Now for me, coming out my mouth sounds perfectly fine. You knew exactly what I meant,
Mm-hmm.
but Grammy was like, "What time do I need to pull up?" And it's like, I don't need do. That's not necessary. It's like
For
we
real.
we have decided amongst us that when I say this word, do is not necessary, and
At
there's
all.
no way of keeping up with that. You know, they talk about let me come politically correct, the Inuits. What they have like 89 words for snow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many words do black people have for money?
Oh man, that'd be actually this would be a good clip actually. How many oh I like that. We could name a couple right now. Oh my god. Because that reminds me of like when I was in high school, there's some kid. I forgot how the conversation started, but he was like, "You ain't got no cake" or something like that. She's like, "Cake," and I was like, or what did he say? He didn't say cake. Yeah, he said cake or something. But it's just like even just the context, you could pick it up. But this other girl was like, "What cake? What are you talking about?" Yeah, no, this
Like, shout out to
that's probably
Kendrick.
100 words.
I'm about to say shout out to Kendrick. I just got chilly. Like, I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, Kendrick said that.
Yeah, you ain't come here for the chili. What you come for? Yeah, and I was like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
Shoot, honestly, you could make. That's the funny about the culture, right? Like any, you could turn any word into like make it mean something else, and
exactly.
everyone's gonna get it.
And that's why AI could never keep up. Like, I don't think
Hmm.
AI will never replace a black person. We just put that out there.
Wait, let's do this real time. Actually, can we open up ChatGPT and ask it like how many words are there for month? Wait, what was it? What'd you say before?
I just
You could
said
ask. You could literally be like, just like there are 80 different words for the snow. How many words are there in black culture for money?
so. We said
I be
American
because I
black
know
culture.
it'll yeah, because I know it'll come up with some.
All right. So now we are back from our instant brainstorm session, uh, talking about some of these AI tools. Uh, just get back on track. We were talking about uh, how AI is overrated, and I was just saying from a black perspective, for sure, it's overrated. But the thing about AI being overrated for me is like it doesn't have a lot of practical use outside of content. Um, and I'm going to tell you one of the biggest things that I have a problem with, and I'm trying to get better. I'm working on it. I'm in progress. God ain't through with me yet. Um, but keeping my files organized on my computers, um, going from my PC to the Mac, going from my SSD to the onboard storage. You know, I might download something and then use it in Premiere, but not put it in the folder with the rest of the assets. And I would just really love if AI could just clean that shit up. It's like, you know that I use all of these files on my computer. Why don't you just move them all to one folder? It's like, could you do that, AI? It's like, you so damn smart. You writing books, movies, giving people travel ideas, recipes, all this shit. But it's like I could just use some AI tools to uh move some stuff around. I'm talking to you, Microsoft, with your Copilot. That
Mm.
Copilot ain't Copiloting shit. I'm just saying, and like you're not taking me nowhere.
The shit it does Copilot is super basic.
Super basic, and I'm not here for it. And some if I were to have something called a Copilot, I would love it to be able to take some controls. But doing nothing but like ideation is great for getting my work done, but it doesn't necessarily always make my entire life easier. And when AI can get to that point, because it's able to read all of these things, it can read this information, it can look at the XML sheet and tell me what files are going into Premiere. It has all of the data available. I just needed to be able to talk to each other so I can make my life easier from I guess like a molecular level when I'm doing different tasks. Uh, and I think I would really appreciate AI more if it was doing things like that. Because right now, I've come up with some cool stuff, some cool ideas for me to execute, but I'm doing all the work. I'm still doing
I'm
all of the
tired,
work.
chat.
Like, no matter what y'all say, is like, yeah, it's Chat GPT and then it's chat over here. Just we having to do completely different sides of the coin. I got to do all this talking, and yeah, they got some AI edits, but then the AI edits got to be edited. So what?
What we
You
doing?
what
Put
are
the
we doing?
file in the folder, please.
Just put it together. You know what I'm trying to do. But
Mhm.
that's part of my reason why I say AI is overrated. When I look at people who do a lot of fear mongering about AI taking over, and AI is going to take your jobs, and AI is going to ruin your life, and you're going to be falling in love with AI and all this other nonsense, and I'm like, there are going to be some people who fall victim to what AI is capable of and what it's doing. But for the most part, it ain't really doing shit.
I have another example actually. It's two fast food drive-through experiences. One was positive, one was terrible.
Mm.
Um, Wendy's, there was a Wendy's in Florida where it was AI at the drive-through taking my order. Flawless. I was shocked, surprised. It heard everything I said, told me what I was ordering. I pulled up, got my food, and did. Got the food from an actual person and did. Bojangles, AI. Sorry, we don't have this. I'm like, what? What do you mean? And it's just like I was just confused. It kind of creates some confusion. And it was like talking about this. It's like we don't have this. We don't da 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 da. I was like, huh? I was actually really confused, and I was like, I was literally about to leave because I was like, I don't even understand what's going on. Terrible user experience. And then I heard a voice, but like kind of break through the air. I was like, and they were like, come around front. And I came up and basically I told my order to the person. I got everything that I wanted. It had the stuff that it said it was out of. So it's like one case where it's like, oh, I got exactly what I needed. The other case where they were about to lose business because their AI tool that they kind of rushed too soon, I guess, because it overrated once again. It did not get the job done, almost cost them the business. So yeah,
Yeah, that is another danger too, because everybody is pitching AI tools, and not everybody is pitching the same quality AI tools. And of course, the price tag is going to be different. The turnaround time is going to be different. The integration is going to be a little different. And then if you have, let's say you have a vendor who is doing your POS, and they roll out an AI tool that's supposed to help you take orders. It's like, are you going to go with the one that's with this other company, or are you going to go with the one that's on the platform you're already with?
A
And so
lot of
that's
decisions.
right. And so like everybody's going to have to make a lot of decisions when it comes to AI as far as what's really going to work for them. And also what you define as quality. I think that that's going to be another big thing because when I look at that image generation thing, there have been some cases where I have used tools where like I've gotten exactly what I wanted. It was damn near scary. It doesn't happen too often, but it's like, oh, okay, this one is actually good. It's like there are image generators everywhere, but this one can actually do a thing based on that. And then I just heard they updated the
Mhm.
ChatGPT image generator for it to like do text better, which was one of the biggest complaints that I've had. It's like I would say like make me like a fake campaign poster with this on it and the shit will look like Russian. And it's like, why? What what is this?
Right.
But as these
It is
things
a
start,
lot better at text now.
so yeah, like
Still
it's
some issues, but better.
yeah, and I'm still not big on it, but I do think um the 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 Canva update that they just rolled out, I do
Hmm.
think that that's going to flip up the game when it comes to image generation using AI because it's going to bring together your personal assets like a picture of you, you know, doing a pose or whatever, and then putting you in like 12 different graphics. And
Mm.
now you have like an entire branding package based on your personalized assets. And I think
Mm.
that's going to be the wave that's going to take image generation to the next point. Um, but as you can see, you know, we've been talking about Chat GPT since what was that? 20, was that 2023 or was it 20? That was like late 2023. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I started using it more.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and they had Dolly out before then. And
Yeah.
now we're like a few months into 2025 and we're just now getting here with some of this image stuff. So
Mm.
it just feels like it's going to take a long time for AI to be able to do super duper impactful things outside of ideation. Um, but to me, that's looks like it's gonna be the main use for it. So I just want people to chill, take a deep breath, use it for
Got
what it's
time.
for. You got time. Like it's not gonna leave you behind. You don't have to be scared. Like, don't worry about them taking your information. You know, they're saying that it's private. Of course, as soon as somebody gets exposed, they're going to get exposed. Like they already exposed the Meta AI for using people's copyrighted books. And so they already catching some of this stuff right now.
Yeah. And there's another one that was like they found out that it's using info from YouTube and stuff. So it's like I mean it's all like duh, of course it is, but
Right. But
you
it
know.
just it don't feel good. It's like you ain't asked, bro. You could have asked. I probably would have said yeah, either way, but at least
Definitely could have just yeah.
like just cite me. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you send them a link to my page so they could go watch the whole video. Like that would have been
That's
cool
why I
too.
like Perplexity more than ChatGPT. ChatGPT, I feel like plagiarizes because it'll tell you stuff, and I gotta like bully it for the sources. Perplexity, it tells you exactly where it got this shit from. Reddit, this post on Reddit, and this commenter said this. Like it goes that deep.
I like that. Cause I'm about
Yeah.
to say Gemini does that too. And that's why I
Oh, it
had
does.
started using yeah, when I was doing stuff for work, I would use Gemini because I could get the sourcing and I could double check whether or not this stuff was valid. Cause I would be asking you stuff about like regulations and laws and policy and different things like that. So it's like I needed this shit to be right before I put it out. And so yeah,
Gemini,
no,
yo, Google might have the best integration of AI. And of all these like enterprises that are offering I think so far I'm liking the way that Google's going about things the best. Like their integration into like Gmail, it's real clean. It doesn't feel like too much. I haven't fully gone into Google Drive yet because it currently isn't processing videos, only text. But like in Google Meet, Gemini and Google Meet, that's just amazing. So yeah, they I feel like they've had like the biggest, I think, successful impact outside of that one time where they kind of had to roll back their image generator or whatever tool or feature in Gemini. But yeah, they
They have a whole
they do
nother
it good.
uh image generator tool. I forgot what it was called, but I
Mm,
discovered it on accident because I was trying to do something with like a real picture and I found it. But uh but
gotcha.
now it's funny you said that, and then we're gonna wrap up here, or wrap up this subject
Yeah.
after this. But I do think there is um I think we have a line of demarcation for the millennials because we're Google native, we're browser native, and it's integrated into everything we do, especially if you work. If you do actual work, you're using Google Drive, you're using Docs, Sheets, and the whole nine. So like if you of the Google first generation, Gemini is going to be your best friend at some point. It's just finding out where you actually want to use Gemini, because it's fully available, especially if you got Google Workspace. Um, this shit is fully integrated throughout the entire experience, and I'm kind of liking it because it actually does like useful stuff when I'm typing up a document. Because like, for example, if you take something from ChatGPT, sometimes you will get things where it has a lot of asterisks, and
Mm.
I could tell Gemini take all the asterisks out, and it just does it. Or I could tell it to format it into, a numbered list or a bullet point list. It'll do stuff like that, and like that type of stuff it's a good shortcut. Excuse me. So like I would encourage anybody who is of the Google first generation, definitely consider learning Gemini a little bit more in and out. I do like the searches, the way they've set up the AI search a little bit more. It's getting a little not intense. It's a little bit more detailed, uh, as far as where the answers and where it's coming from, because it's giving you multiple answers and the citing right there. So it's like, oh,
Mm.
okay. I was like, I can ask you one question, get 10 different answers, and pick the ones that I like. Cause now I don't have to go through links. And it's like, y'all should have been did this. But that's besides the point. I'm glad y'all here. But now I don't have to do as much digging to find the answer. Like I don't have to find the Reddit post and then go to that particular response. It's like, here's the response. Awesome. And
Boom.
uh and I guess like on that tip, shout out to Reddit. I think Reddit
Big shout
is
out.
quickly becoming the place where when AI doesn't have the answer and you need an answer from a person, it's on Reddit.
Yeah.
Increasingly, I have found myself to be on Reddit more and more and more and more. Um, and it's helping me get there. Like I've
Yeah.
that is where the human experience is going to exist in the infinite going forward. I think if you're not utilizing Reddit right now, to not only get your answers, but actually get yourself established. Like, people don't look at Reddit like social media, but it is a social media site. It
Mhm.
took over the forum era of the internet, and if you got something to share, you got some knowledge to share. If you did it on YouTube, you could cite yourself on YouTube. There's a lot of different ways in different communities, and they have all their different rules. You can go in there. Some people don't allow self promotion, some do, but nonetheless, when you got good stuff to share, use Reddit to share it. And if you have an affiliate link, it's not the worst thing to share those in there as well, because in the last few months, just helping people answer the question about where they can find a good clip generator, I'm recommending the script. And then I go to my partner stack, and it's like, oh wow, I have a lot of clicks from Reddit. There's a lot of
Mhm.
clicks coming through from Reddit. Didn't even think. And this is not me posting every day on Reddit. I think I'm only posted the link maybe like 4 or 5 times. I'm probably missing a lot of money not being on Reddit every day.
Mm.
Just because people ask the same questions over and over again. And what's happening is those posts are getting up in the ranks on Google. And so people are finding my answers to questions on Reddit via Google, and they're clicking on my affiliate link.
You know what? I just thought of like it's like when I'm Googling for things, I always see search results from YouTube, but if I see Reddit, I might click on that because sometimes I don't always feel like going through a whole YouTube video to find some stuff. Like I just want a quick text-based answer, and here comes Reddit.
Right to the
Someone
point.
that, yeah, exactly. And also with Reddit, I could see if other people co-sign that response as well. You can see other replies and stuff. So that's a good point.
Yeah,
That's
man.
a good point.
So if you
Hmm.
if you're not on that Reddit game yet, just go. You could tiptoe in there. You know, you ain't gotta use up your whole day, but it's a lot more helpful than I think people are letting on to. And it's also just a pretty cool place to just be in general. You just find some cool shit on there. So um I'm not a full on Reddit head, but I'm definitely encouraging everybody out there to jump on that train. It's a lot of opportunity in there too. Yeah, bro, I'm gonna go ahead and let you get to your day. We've been chopping it up here for a little bit out. So anything you want to let the people know before you get up out of here? Want to share your handles? Tell them what you got coming up next.
Yeah, man. It's the Great Walt, ITS, the Great Walt on all the platforms. Walter Gainer the second, if you can't find that. And I'm just really looking to dive deeper into the stories of people who are like these leaders in these spaces and how to grow as in your career as an entrepreneur. Just to kind of stand out and kind of reach that growth, right, that you're talking about all the time. So now. Find me wherever you find CL. Boss Locks Media on YouTube. We out here.
Yeah, big shout out to the Boss Slots brand, man. We finna go ahead and blow that thing up this year, man. So y'all keep a lookout for Walter. You know, and like you said, you ought to see us both in a lot of places real soon, man.
Absolutely. And big shout out actually to you, CL, because like you about to be they'll be like you're definitely gonna see CL a lot more. But you're also gonna see or you're not there's gonna be a lot of things that come from CL's hands that you won't see as well. But he's the person to go to kind of power all your like creative ideas and put them into action. Workflow design. What is it? What's your title?
Oh yeah, we're going workflow
Workflow
strategist.
strategist. Workflow
Yeah,
strategist. Nah, you got that.
yeah,
Yeah, he's in.
that's the new title. Yeah, we did a little market research, and that seems to be the thing that I was cut out to do. So yeah, I appreciate you
Boom.
saying that. Yeah, y'all look out for this workflow strategy uh, book and agenda that I'm trying to give everybody, because I want everybody to be able to work smarter, get better quality, and not burn themselves out. So Y'all be on the lookout. Just keep up with at Podtext, at CZ Pod Gang. If you want to send me a note, you can even email me, cl@podtext.com. I'm here for all inquiries, questions. I don't turn anybody down. If you would just want to know something, I'm more than willing to share. And so like I said, open book. But got nothing else, Walter, man. We're gonna go ahead and let everybody go. I appreciate everybody out there for listening and watching it. Hopefully this was something very valuable. And we'll see y'all next time. Y'all stay blessed. Peace.
Peace.